Hello, welcome back to the channel. And this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a football-themed dexterity game that is regarded by some people as a classic. We're going to be talking about Subbuteo, and in this game, you will be flicking little men around a pitch. You will be trying to get the ball into the goal that will allow you to win the game. So in this video, we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Subbuteo is worth your time and bother about 70 odd years after it was first released in 1947. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, hit the like button and all that shit. We'll see you after this. So, Subbuteo, how'd you play this game? So Subbuteo is a dexterity game that is based on the sport of football, or soccer if you're in the United States. Fun fact, the word soccer comes from Football Association. It's got the word association in it. Right, that's true. You might not believe me, but it's bloody true. All right. So in the box, you're going to get a felt style pitch. You're going to get two teams, each with 10 outfield players and one goalie. You're going to get a couple of goals and you're going to get a ball, and then you'll place the goals at both ends of the pitch on the right spot. Stick the goalies under the goal, and then you'll arrange your players in any sort of tactical formation, if that's possible in this game, as you see fit. You place the ball on a centre circle and then somebody will kick off. The rules for this game can be very, very simple, or they can be very, very complex. There is a comprehensive rule book for this game, but we're just talking about the baked in rules that you get in this pretty poor quality high street style set, right? So if you are in possession of the ball, you have to flick one of your players so it makes contact with the ball. You'll be able to flick the same player 3 times, and then you'll have to flick another player. If your player misses a ball, if the ball touches another player, if you kick the ball out of play, if one of your players commits a foul, or you score a goal. If any of these things happen, then play will turn over to the other team. If your team is defending, which means you ain't got the ball, right, then you'll be able to flick one player after your opponent has flicked theirs. Your opponent doesn't have to wait for you to do this, so you have to be on the ball, nice, and get these defensive moves in quick, right? So when you want to shoot, you have to make sure that you are within the shooting line, which is the line just outside the penalty area. You can't shoot from outside of that area, right? Fouls are committed if you take more flicks than you should. If you touch the ball with your hand, it's considered a handball. If you commit an offside rule, I'm not going into offside because it's just a confusing load of mess. And also if there's obstruction, which means that you touch the ball when your team's not attacking, right? So there's also corner kicks, goal kicks, throw-ins and penalty kicks. Everybody who knows about football knows what the hell these are. And you'll play for 10 minutes, and the team that has the most goals after 10 minutes will be the winner of Subbuteo. So what do we like about Subbuteo? Well, not a lot really, but I suppose if we had to think of something, then it would be, well, it's football, isn't it? You know, this is a dexterity game. We love dexterity games, as regular viewers of this channel know, and we love a little bit of footy and all. So when you've got dexterity and football together, this game should be right up our alley, right? If it was any kind of other sport, we probably wouldn't be covering this, but because it's got football in it and it's dexterity games, it's worth a little look, right? So the second thing that we like about Subbuteo is this game is widely supported. It's been around since 1947, so there's loads and loads of stuff that you can add to it. There's barriers that you can put around a pitch, yeah? You've got stadiums that you can create. You've even got upgraded pitches, which is probably needed, right? There's loads and loads of other teams available, and there's just a huge inventory of different stuff that you can use to enhance your experience, and it's probably wise that you do that. So the final thing that we like about Subbuteo is the setup is a piece of piss, isn't it? All you got to do is stick the mat out onto your table, stick your players on the pitch, chuck the goals down, and away you go, and you just start flicking the ball around, right? So you don't need to have a PhD in board game setup like you do for some of these other games that we've got in here. So you're not really wasting a lot of time once you set this up, and you get bored after about 2 minutes. So what don't we like about Subbuteo? Well, pretty much everything really, but the elephant in the room here is the shocking component quality. I mean, this is absolutely diabolical. The pitch quality is terrible. You can see through the bloody pitch. If you hold it up to the light, you can see through it. It's like looking through a net curtain, right? For some reason, this pitch has the uncanny ability of finding all the little rough bits that are on your fingers, right? When I'm feeling my finger now, there's no rough bits on it. It feels really smooth. But if I run it across the pitch, it will find the atom on the end of my finger that is big enough to pull the pitch and move it, right? It's also got this weird characteristic that the bottom of the pitch is really smooth, so the pitch moves around if you even so much as breathe on it. But if you turn it upside down, then the pitch doesn't move. So really what the manufacturer should have done is add the rough bit on the bottom and the smooth bit on the top. It didn't, in which case it sucks. Yeah, the pitch quality is terrible. If you add to this the terrible quality of the goals, they don't fit together properly. The nets are all hanging out, looking like a student's duvet. And it's just an absolute diabolical mess. It makes the game pretty much unplayable, right? One of the worst games that we've seen in terms of quality. And this retails for about 38 quid in the UK. There's no way it's worth that. I'd rather go into a shop and buy a lump of fresh dog shit. So the next thing that we don't like about this game is that the shooting line means that you can't shoot from distance, yeah? It limits the options that you've got in terms of shooting. I know this line is here to stop people just flicking the ball from the halfway line. Having the shooting line that close to the goal means that you can't do any wonder shots. And I couldn't find anything in the rule book to see what happens if you do score from that. It just means that the goal is void. But really, it's nothing like real football, is it? I mean, it's more like rugby. You know, that's what you've got. You've got the 33 or the 32 or whatever they call it in rugby. I ain't got a clue. I'm not really interested in egg-shaped balls, yeah. But that shooting line limits the scope of shots that you can do, and it just makes the game really, really boring. So the final thing that we don't like, there's loads of others, don't get me wrong, there's loads of others, but due to time constraints and the fact that I don't want to wind myself up, the final thing that we don't like about Subbuteo is that when you flick the players, they end up out of position. So you might flick a defender, he might go past the ball, and then you've got a gaping hole for the attacking players to enter, and there's just no real sense of tactics in it. It just doesn't feel like real football. But when you take a shot, your striker might end up at the back of the goal, and then what? The team might just launch the ball forward. All your players are out of position. Midfielders become defenders. Defenders become attackers. It's just awful. It's just an awful, frustrating experience that I've come to loathe over the years. I thought that maybe if we revisited this, it might have got better, but it hasn't. In fact, it's got worse, yeah? The actual gameplay itself sucks. So to summarise, is Subbuteo worth playing so many years after it's first released? We're going to say no, a categorical no. Yeah, it's absolutely dreadful. The component quality on this is some of the worst that we've seen. It makes the game practically unplayable. And if you're going to play a football game, have a go at this one. This is Total Action Football. I'm not saying it's that much better than Subbuteo, but at least this has got magnets on the base and you push the player's head down to kick the ball. So this, whilst it's not a great game, this is the one that you want to play if you want a really shoddy dexterity based football game, right? So yeah, Subbuteo, it really does deserve to get sacked and be relegated into administration and possibly out of existence. Yeah, over the years this game has come and gone. It went out of print in the 80s and they decided to bring it back for the USA 94, and then it went out of print again, and for some bizarre reason they brought it back. Yeah, in our opinion, it doesn't work as a football game. It doesn't work as a dexterity game, and yeah, I think I'm going to actually burn this copy unless one of you lot wants to take it off my hands for free, right? So yeah, that's Subbuteo. Remember, if you're new in, then please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, all that crap, and we'll see you next time.